So guys, quickly, let's look at the King's Gambit accepted line. I want to quickly rush through the Muzio's Gambit, where knight gives up his pawn, and in fact, almost every piece it has, white rather, gives up his pawn almost every. So white plays f4 here with the intention of giving up this pawn, and if black goes ahead to capture it, then this is known as the King's Gambit accepted line. Okay, white continues proper development, black continues to push, and then white develops his bishop so that it can castle. Black continues to push so that it can destabilize the white king side, but white will ignore all the threats and allow black to capture the knight. Once you capture the knight, this is known as the Muzio Gambit. Okay, this is known as the Muzio Gambit. What is white trying to achieve? Look at by move. This is move move 6, right? And black has not developed any of its pieces. Look at the minor pieces, the knights and the bishops, along with the major pieces, the rook and the queen, still at the back rank. So this will be difficult for black to develop. So even if black decides to, because you have to be very very careful at this point not to make just anyhow move. If black decides to play all the best moves, he will definitely win. But there are little blunders black will make, and this will put him in a losing position. For instance, if white continues to give you a piece, there's nothing wrong in accepting this pawn, okay? But then you should be very careful when you accept this bishop that white will still offer, and then after accepting the bishop he offers you a queen, a pawn. Don't accept this pawn, but if you accept it, all is good. But you should, even then, here it is absolutely necessary to play the right move. Now this is where we have problems. Sometimes you see black takes this bishop, forgetting that its pawn is being the pawn is under a pin here once the queen recaptures. So your pawn cannot capture back, and you have lost your queen, and eventually you will lose the game. So you have to be very very careful not to make this blunder. And sometimes white becomes greedy and goes for the rook as well. Then we have this situation where um, white or black will completely lose. Either you capture the queen or you go anywhere, you will be checkmated as quick as possible. So sorry, you should go as quick as possible. So you have to be very very careful not to make such moves. This is checkmate. So with that said, let's look at what happens if black decides to go here, then white is losing. So I don't see any reason white should play the Muzio Gambit unless you are playing against someone that you are way stronger than. Because if he decides to play just the right moves, then you are most likely in trouble if he decides to play just the right moves. So wait, sorry. White has to be equally careful as well, because if you it's not just so with this the game is still equal. Okay, with this the game is still equal, but there are lots and lots of intricacies to it. You just by the time the dust is settled, you see that sorry, by the time the dust is settled, you see that we have 5 pawns on each side and 5 pawns on each side. We have a bishop and knight for each side. So the game is basically a draw from here, but you have to be able to see just the right angles and the right moves. All in all, today we'll be looking at the King's Gambit accepted line in the Chess Addict forum, and I don't want to spoil it. I want to see what the players have all prepared for themselves. So I will give you feedback from the best games played today, and we analyze it to come up with better ways. Okay, thank you very much.